Hello, everyone. In the last video, we looked at how you could edit items in your personal workspace after you had already created and published them. But I told you that that would not change the way the item looked on any existing assessments. All future assessments would get the new version of the item, but previous assessments that had already been published and perhaps taken by students would still retain the old version of the item. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make updates to your assessments to reflect any changes that have happened to the items in your workspace. So to do that, we're going to go to the Launchpad and I'm going to select Assessments so that I can see my assessment list. Here you see an assessment called First Grade Basic Edition 1819 that contains items from a personal workspace. This assessment is published but has never been administered to students, and I can tell that by the green dot right here. If students had taken the test, the second dot would show yellow. The only thing that needs to be done before I can make updates to this assessment is to unpublish it. But it is important to know that if the tests were in progress, yellow, or had been administered to at least one student, it cannot be edited. So in order to make changes and accept any updates, what you would really need to do is click and then make a copy of the assessment, and then the copy could be set to reflect those changes in the workspace. But we're going to go ahead out to the end of the row under the drop-down menu, and we're going to unpublish this assessment so that it can be updated. Now that the assessment is unpublished, we can come out to the setup, which takes us directly back to the test creation wizard. And the first thing I notice, it says select the items tab to apply updated items to this assessment. So School City recognizes that there are items on this test that have had changes made, and it's warning me of that and giving me an opportunity to accept those changes and apply the new versions of the items to this assessment. And it only gives you this warning if the test is unpublished. That is why I had to unpublish it first. So I'll go, as it tells me, to my items step. And remember, if you watched the last video, I updated one item. So as we scroll down and look at the items that are on this test, most of them look like always, but this first one right here says show updated item. So this question was 2 plus 2. I can show the updated item, which was 5 plus 2. And now I have a button that says use this item. So because I made that update in my workspace, I can now come to my test and say, yes, I want to change that. I don't want to keep the 2 plus 2. So I'll say use this item on the test. And then we're just still in the test creation wizard. I would scroll through my test to see if there were any other updates. And then when I was finished looking at it, I would simply toggle through all of the steps. If there were any other changes I needed to make to the test, I could do that. And then just like always, we're going to toggle out to the end, look at our online settings, make our online administration choices, and then we would publish. And this test will now reflect those changes that were made in my personal workspace.